So, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know how you want to look at it, but we need to get a tiny bit more into the weeds and into the mechanics of the time that you showed up at the house when Officer Coonrod was there,
Okay.
till the time when we were all done talking.
Okay.
So that includes at the house, that includes at the oil site, and everything.
Okay.
And part of the reason we need to get into that is, I mentioned before how we're just really want to get into the mindset of what happened. And you can imagine this is really important for us in the future when we're talking to a guy that's in your position to say, this isn't really a monster. This is more like a Chris Watts. And boy, we remember with Chris, had we asked this or had we done this, we really could have been better. And so that's why we want to get into the mechanics of it a little bit more with you. And that's going to mean exactly how, exactly when, where were you, what was, Shanann wearing, or all of that, right? So we really just need for you to take a deep breath and get into it with us. And would it be all right if we ask you some specific questions? Okay. So one of the first things we want to talk about was when you came home. So this is after they had passed, and you came home and met with Officer Coonrod. One of the first things we see on the video is you walking into the garage and then into the Shanann's car. Remember what that was about?
In your car?
Yeah, I think you opened a door or something?
Yeah, you opened the passenger door, and it looks like you were looking for something, or maybe you picked something up. Do you recall what that was?
Not that I'm aware of. Not looking for anything, but maybe just opening the car door to see if, sheets or, because I think Nikki was saying, I think I see the car seat still in there.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I was,
Okay.
When I opened up the door, I looked in just to, it's like the first reaction of whatever, everybody's just waiting, pretty much waiting to get in the house.
Right. Okay.
So I wasn't looking for anything as far as specific or anything, but I was just, I don't know, just reaction going in there, and I know everybody's there. I don't know what's going to happen when they get in the house.
Just out of nervousness, maybe?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was out of nervousness.
Sure, okay.
And then backing up a tiny bit, I jumped forward too far. So she comes home at 2 a.m. She gets into bed. When you guys had sex together, was that pretty quickly after she came home?
I think it was around 2:30, because I felt like she'd be in bed for a little while.
A little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
And forgive me, it's not a pervy thing, but she woke you up?
Yeah, she was just, I could feel like a hand was on me, rubbing my leg or my chest or something like that.
And then that was, signal it's go time type thing?
Pretty much.
Okay.
She was yeah.
Okay, I get it. And then that was maybe a half an hour after.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, is there any talking? Or was it just kind of
Just
quiet in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just felt her hand around me. I'm just like, what?
Oh,
And it was
time to go.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. All right. Then a couple hours of sleep, alarm goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess what I don't understand is, so then there was some talking,
Mm-hmm.
and then how did you get on top of her? How did that happen?
It's like when I got into bed, because she was laying, when she was sleeping, she was laying face down, which she really never does.
Okay.
And I just got into bed, and I kind of nudged her, and then she kind of rolled over, and then I was just right there on top of her.
Okay. And so that was after you'd gotten ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go down, you make your food.
Oh yeah, I got cottage cheese and another couple things that I made for food that day.
Okay. And then, so we talked a little bit earlier today about, there was all of these things playing in your mind where you just didn't even want to go another second without having this conversation or without some sort of completion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so you come back, she's asleep, and then you just kind of nudge her?
Yeah, I just kind of hey, look up for a second.
And was there nudge talk for 20 minutes, or was it just nudge and then all of a sudden you're on top of her?
No, she's pretty much on top.
Okay, so that happened pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's how we kind of pretty much talked.
Okay.
I was just right there.
And was there talking?
Yes.
Okay, and so a nudge, a talk, she's laying down and you're standing up?
I crawled back, I got on my side of the bed,
Uh-huh.
and I just nudged her like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you're talking while you're on top of her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That seems confusing to me. Is that actually what happened? Okay. And so...
And she was fine, like just laying there when you were trying to talk to her while you're on
I
top
think
of
she
her?
maybe, I thought we were going to have sex again or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. And how long did you talk?
About 15, 20 minutes.
Really? In that position? Okay. And was there any sex?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I'm basically from the position that we're in. Maybe she thought maybe I'd try to go again. I don't know.
Okay. And I don't harp on it too much, but I'm just trying to think, if my wife's 4 months pregnant and it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I want to talk and I want to get on top of her, that's just not going to fly. So that's why I'm confused.
I know.
So, is that really what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. And then talk for about 15 minutes and then it's heated and then your hands are on her neck. Okay. All right.
What did the talk consist of?
Basically just about how, well, at first it was more of like the, selling the house type of thing, or not going to Aspen, or trying to maybe go in at a different time, and then it just switched all to the, I don't feel like I'm in love with you anymore, not compatible, and went to that. And that's when I got to the heated part of it
Okay.
Did she ever say at some point, get off of me or anything like that?
at the end.
Yeah.
That's what she said. I don't want you to feel like, because where I was, it was kind of like she didn't want me to sit down or like hurt the baby or anything like that. So it was just kind of
Did she accuse you of cheating at that point?
Mhm.
So what'd she say?
She's like, I knew there was somebody else. I knew there was somebody else. I didn't come out and say, that there is somebody else, but she obviously already knew.
And your response to that was what? Did she say, no, there's not? Did you deny it?
I believe I just denied it, but at that point, because when she would accuse me at the beach, it was a lot of like, there's nobody else, there's nobody else, or like, and when we got back home, she always said there's got to be somebody else, because she'd always talk to her friends like Christina or somebody on text messaging, and they'd always say there's got to be somebody else if he's not wanting to sleep with you, like he's getting it from somewhere else, and there's nowhere else. She couldn't really say I would get anywhere else because I was using those Antarctica gift cards, so it was kind of like, she just me getting distant, but she knew, and that's mainly the reason why I talked to her, because I knew, after that night, it was just it felt like, I just felt guilty, more guilty than ever before.
Yeah. And then it seems to me, and sorry, I have a lot of thoughts here. So we know what happened, and we can talk about it today kind of openly, and that's what we need from you, is to just kind of say, I know it sounds bad, or I know this, or I know I feel this way, but physically this is exactly what happened. So if you could tell us that, it seems then that it would have had to been a pretty quick transition from two people talking to this,
Yeah.
right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was I don't want to, trying to think of the last things we were talking about, but it was, I don't feel like I love you anymore, and then she was like, you're never going to see the kids.
Oh,
That was it.
that's perfect, Chris. That's exactly what we need. Okay. And I know it's hard to walk through that again, but that's exactly what we need. So then, as soon as she started talking like that, then it was on. Okay.
But it was you saying that you didn't love her, is that right? Okay.
And her saying, you're never going to see the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. I can imagine how that made you feel. Sorry.
It didn't warrant what it did.
Yeah. And then the fact that she didn't scratch at you or anything, is that just because it was so powerful?
I don't think it didn't feel like I've never done that before, put my hands around anybody before, so I don't even know what kind of force I was putting on her neck.
Okay.
Like I said, 2 to 4 minutes, I don't know if that was 2 to 4 minutes.
Did you cover her face at all during that time?
Both hands on the neck. Okay. And so if it's done right, that can be a matter of seconds before someone on their carotid loses oxygen to their brain and is out, right? Did it seem like it was that quick, or? Okay. Maybe a minute, maybe 2? Okay. Screaming? Okay. All right. Did you see eyes go bloodshot or anything like that? Okay. And
You
then,
kept talking about the mascara. Did you see mascara on her face?
It looked like it was That's what I attributed it to.
Was she crying? Is that why? At what point did she start crying?
When I'm talking about the relationship, about not being compatible. And when she's talking about there's somebody else, that's where she started crying. That's what I thought, it was mascara.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if it was it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Was there a pillow or something you wanted to ask about?
Yeah, so was there ever at any time a pillow or the sheet or anything involved in like that on her face specifically? No?
No, like the sheet that you kind of wrapped around to get downstairs. That was about it.
The one that was at the site? Okay. And then the other sheets, they were in the trash. At what point did you put those in there?
I think that was
Obviously after I was in the house.
yeah. I think it was probably the next day or so.
Okay.
I think I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. This is hard to talk about. When
Yeah.
strangle someone, I don't sometimes I guess they use the bathroom. So it was I think that's one of the major reasons why, because I think that had happened.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You said she was sleeping face down at one point? Was her face in the pillow or was it turned to the side or how did that?
Kind of on the side. She was kind of like a side sleeper, but she was more down than usual.
Okay.
But then she rolled completely onto her back when you started talking to her?
Okay. Now, as hard as that was, we need to talk about the girls too, okay? All right, thank you. So with the girls, we talked about how they got into the truck with you and were alive, okay? Are you 100% sure that's true? Okay.
Can we go back just a second?
Mm-hmm.
You talked about before that Bella walked in, though, to the bedroom. Can you tell us about that before you left?
Yeah, I was just getting the sheet off the bed, and she had walked in, and she had her little pink blanket with her. And she was like, what's wrong? What's wrong with mommy?
And where was Shanann at that point?
Yeah, just pretty much on the bed, but she was face down.
Wrapped in the sheet? What'd you say?
I just said, she doesn't feel good. That's when I tried to carry her downstairs.
Shanann? Okay.
Did you carry her like this? Did you drag her? How did you do it?
Attempted to pick her up and take her down, but I lost grip after a little while and just had to pull.
Did Bella see you do that? What was Bella saying?
She started crying a little bit. She's like, what's wrong with mommy?
And what'd you say that time?
I said, she just doesn't feel good. She's a smart girl. She'd know what's going on there.
Mm-hmm. Did she ever touch Shanann? Try and wake her up or anything? No.
She didn't want to see her or ask to see her or anything? And so that initial time, did she see you put Shanann in the truck? So she was kind of following you? Okay. So she followed you and you put Shanann in the truck. Okay. And then what?
Cece wasn't up yet. Or she was just in her room. She was getting ready to get out of her bed. And then they were just walking around the house. I was put my lunchbox and stuff in the truck, and then grabbed the kids and I put them in the bench seat in the back.
Okay. And so Shanann, is she kind of on the floor in the back? And they're just on the bench? Okay. And both alive at that point? Okay. Is there any reason you would feel uncomfortable to tell me that they were not alive at that point?
There were,
Okay.
wasn't it a video or anything?
It's hard to see. Okay. And I believe you. I'm just, I'm trying to make sure that I'm giving you all the opportunities to be comfortable enough to tell me exactly. Okay.
They were like,
Okay.
trust me, I hear that every day when Bella was talking to me at the site.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
When she said that, you know. when we were driving to the site, she said, "Daddy, it smells."
Oh, okay. So that goes back to maybe Shanann evacuating herself.
I don't know if it was that. They know that smell like a skunk maybe sometimes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I got some kind of smell that way, but I don't know what that was from.
And was that maybe outside the truck or was that in?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. What did you guys talk about on the way out?
They were pretty quiet. They just, laid next to each other.
Okay.
Maybe Bella in her lap and CC in her lap, just back and forth.
Oh, okay. Just trading off like little ones do. Okay. Were they awake?
I think one would kind of fall asleep, the other one, CC would maybe kind of trade off back and forth.
Were they talking to you?
Just about, just saying, "Daddy, it smells."
Oh, okay.
It was early in the morning. They were showing up that early.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you have to? So you didn't have to wake CC up?
No, there was the noise from trying to get Shanann down the stairs.
Did she kind of fall down the stairs?
No, it was more like trying to get her down and from the steps, maybe her foot hit the next step kind of thing.
Oh.
They're light sleepers.
So then, once you get to the site, tell me what happens.
So I get to that one site and I get Shanann out to that. Just pull her over to the part right off the site there.
Okay.
And the girls are still in the truck.
Okay.
Did they ask you what you were doing, taking mommy out, or?
Yeah, I don't remember what I told them, but they did ask that.
What they say specifically?
It was more like, what are you doing to mommy?
Okay. And then is that when you buried her?
I don't remember if I dug a hole there first but they didn't watch me do that.
Okay. So then pulled Shanann out and she's maybe just sitting there on top of the ground?
Yeah, like off to the side.
Off to the side, close to where she ended up?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. And then the girls, right?
Mhm.
Okay. You mentioned Bella was first. Cece was first, okay. Where exactly was she when it happened?
In the back seat.
Okay. Was she just right next to Bella?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so once again, was it a hand over her face? Was it?
There was a blanket over and my hand.
And then your hand. Okay. And then so that just stopped her from breathing type thing? Okay. Did she struggle at all?
I don't think so, but I was blocking her face and my hand was right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had one hand here and one hand over her mouth?
And were you just pushing her against the back of the seat type thing? Okay. What was Bella doing?
Just sitting there next to it. She didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Could she see you? Okay. And then, did that take a minute or two?
Didn't feel it. Nothing. I had no concept of time at this
Okay.
point.
Okay. Tell me about what you were thinking.
I wasn't. If I was thinking, it's what would happen.
Yeah.
Or any partial hint of what I feel for those girls and what I feel for my wife, but none of this would have happened. So I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So she's in the back seat. Okay. And then once she's gone, then is it Bella next, or did you pull Cece out?
I pulled CC out.
Okay, so once Cece's gone, Bella's still there in the car alive, and then you pulled Cece out. What'd you do with her?
And I think
Okay. So she went into the tank, and Bella was still in the back of the truck alive. Okay. With regard to that tank, did you bring up Cece, put her down, open the hatch,
brought her up, opened the hatch.
and then put her in? Okay. When we talked the very first time we met, when we were talking about this, it was a matter of just lowering her down. Okay, and so she went in feet first. Okay. Was she able to fit pretty well? Was it snug?
I think so.
Okay. Did you have to move her around a little bit and get her in there?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
I didn't have to like, hit or like,
Okay.
something like that.
It's not like you stomped her in?
No.
Okay. And then closed the hatch?
Yes.
Okay. And then went down to Bella. Tell me what happened there.
She said what happened to Cece. First she asked it was the same thing, the exact same thing that happened to me as Cece.
Did she ask you that? Okay. So Bella's pretty smart. How did she sound when she asked you that, Chris?
She had that soft voice she always had.
Yeah. And what exactly did she say?
She said exactly the same thing that happened to me as Cece. And then I said, I don't even remember what I said.
Okay.
I don't know if I just said yes like a horrible person, or if I just put that blanket over her too and did the same thing.
Same blanket, same way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She said, no, Daddy. And that's the last thing she said.
Did she say no, Daddy, like, please, no, Daddy type thing? Did she say saying, don't do it?
And she said, no, Daddy.
Okay. Same way, hand on neck, hand over mouth, or hand over blanket, which is over mouth? Okay. Did that take a couple minutes?
I feel like it.
Okay. Then what?
I just noticed she had a couple spots like over her eye or something, and I picked her up. And same thing.
And we talked a little bit earlier today about it. You don't remember why a different tank? Okay. And there was no reason?
No, they're both the same tanks. I mean, there's just like I don't know why I did two different things.
Okay. There's one. I never got up there. Does one catwalk lead to both?
Oil can go into either tank.
Okay. But if you go up one set of ladders, does that eventually
Yes,
indicate to both?
It's one catwalk.
Okay. Now Bella was a little bit bigger. Was she harder to get in?
It felt like it a little bit.
Okay. And so was it a matter of just kind of maneuvering her? All right. So then they're both in there. Is there any reason to think they were alive when they fell in? Okay. You're pretty sure? Okay. So once that's done, then what?
Go over to Shanann, clear away some weeds, and I dig a hole.
Okay. Did you have a shovel?
Yeah, we have a shovel, a rake, and a weed whacker as part of our tools.
With that rake, if I remember right, it was...
Part of it was sitting there because it was broken.
Oh, did it break as you were digging or something?
No, when I was like smoothing the ground over.
On this day? It broke when you were doing that? Okay. Was that after you were all done? And it seemed as though maybe the first people that got there saw it. Was it stuck in the ground?
I guess it was like, not like standing up, but it was like laying down.
Oh, okay. Were you planning on coming back?
I mean, I don't think so.
Okay. At this point then, this is just before then, in a couple of hours, you would make it back home to see Officer Conrad. Okay. And so once she's buried, then what?
That's when people start showing up, I believe.
Did you notice, was she cut or broken or bleeding in any way?
No, I mean, I know like the bloodshot eyes you were talking about. I noticed that at that point.
Okay.
Other than that, no.
Had she partially given birth?
No.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Remember, she had a shirt and think blue underwear on.
Okay. And so at that point, she was, okay. Thank you. I know that wasn't me.
Can you tell us about, obviously when the district attorney got up and talked about Bella's injuries and stuff.
I didn't want to hear about that.
Right. Can you tell us about that?
As far as like her biting her tongue?
And ripping her frenulum, which is that connective skin from your lip to your gum. It was gone. Her gums had it looked like a hole in them and the pathologist said it was from her obviously struggling to get away.
I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
Could it be that that's what happened?
So like, I didn't put my hand like over her, like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it would have been just downward pressure on her, this area.
I didn't see any of that when I picked her back up. Like was it like her lip was like missing or something? Or?
No, see this skin that connects there?
Yeah.
That was ripped. Like, it was gone. So it kind of made like a hole in her gum.
I'm just thinking maybe it's like, maybe like if her head was like twisting back and forth, could that have done that?
Yeah.
If I had a blanket open, I don't know. Like,
Did you feel her doing that thrashing or trying to get away?
I
or-
felt her head moving back and forth,
You did.
but I didn't know that happened.
Could you tell if she was trying to yell or say anything or?
The only thing was Daddy no, and then like some like a grunt here and there, trying to breathe.
Mhm.
During that time, do you remember getting phone calls from Nicole Atkinson?
After, I think, before she got to my house or after?
Just any time during that morning?
I think I didn't get one until I saw her on my doorbell camera.
And that was, what, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, it was right around there.
Okay. There was a lot to do about coming home and listening to that Metallica song. Have you heard about that?
I've
Battery.
heard of a Metallica song that people have been, someone sent me lyrics to it called Battery.
Do you remember doing that?
That was Nikki Kessinger. She liked the song, or she just wanted to know what it meant.
Oh.
So that's
And that's why you looked it up?
I just kind of looked at I didn't have the CD with me, so I didn't, I just kind of looked at the words a little bit.
And was that on the way home?
Mhm.
Oh, that was just a different time?
That was a different time.
Okay, and so the media
It's
probably got a hold of that.
because it says Battery.
Right, okay.
But it's like, it's more about like a family coinciding as a battery.
Okay.
Not like, hitting somebody.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why did Nikki want to know what it meant? Like, how did that come
I
out?
don't know. It was kind of strange. I mean, she's very into different types of music, and I mean, music I never really thought I'd ever listen to. And like, she got me into a few things there as far as music wise, but like, Battery was something that she asked me because I knew Metallica pretty well. She just wanted to know, like, hey, what's the lyrics mean? I just looked it up just to look at all the words together and just put it in my head again, and that was it. We just made something out of nothing. That's why it was strange. Like, I have those lyrics in a letter.
Oh, and so now does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, someone sent me the lyrics to it.
Yeah.
I think that guy from California.
The one that
Oh,
was
the
18
kid?
at one point?
The
Yeah.
senior?
Um,
Was it your intent the whole time you were taking the girls out there that you were going to do that to them? Honestly?
It's like when I got there, I didn't think it was gonna, like, you talking about the tanks or just.
Yeah, like, well, just,
I mean, I just thought process and all this. None of this makes sense. That's why I know you guys keep asking these questions, because it doesn't make sense to me. At
but
all.
I guess, I mean, like, you could have done it before you guys left
I don't.
and not had him, alive in the back seat. They could have been with Shanann
I
in the
didn't,
back seat.
I didn't think about anything really, like, as far as like how everything was gonna happen. I don't know, like, why it happened, like why I left everything out there in the field, and why, like, all this stuff. Like, just, none of this makes sense at all.
But to Tammy's point, did you think that they might be coming back, or did you know they wouldn't be coming back?
No, I mean, the whole trip out there, I mean, it was like I wasn't thinking. It was like, in my mind right now, I'm thinking back, I'm hoping that I wasn't coherent enough to make that decision to where I knew I was going to kill my girls. I'm just hoping that, like no father would ever want to do anything to hurt his blood and flesh, but I did that, and I just don't understand how it happened. So, I mean, I even read books that say, like no dad would ever do anything to hurt his children, and this happened. So I always think of myself like, was I even a dad at one point? I don't know. But it just
You were so angry at Shanann or whatever that you were gonna, anyone in your path of destruction or whatever was gonna get it, basically, kind of, is what kind of made it sound like. I'm not saying that exactly right, but why were you so angry at Shanann?
I don't know if it was just because of separating me and my family, pretty much. Because, I mean, it happened at the wedding. Like, that's the reason they didn't come to the wedding. I mean, I blew up at my family to a point where I said some horrible things to them back in 2012 that I pretty much told my family that, I don't need them anymore because I have, I said, I cussed my mom out. I did all this kind of stuff. I never thought, and I don't know if it was just like Shanann coaching me on to do it, or if it was just like rage that was like I'd never seen before. And then I don't know if it was just everything that happened in July, but I can't see my kids, and I'm not sure if they're ever going to go see them again. I don't know. And it was just like, I don't know if that had something to do with it, that something inside of me just triggered it, and then just like all that pent up from the wedding and everything, just like, it's like a long fuse that finally just went to its end.
What was the blow up at the wedding about?
It was just my mom and pretty much my sister just didn't like her.
Oh.
They just thought, that that Shanann had taken me away from them and moved me out to Colorado.
Oh.
Because we were in Colorado when we flew back to get married.
Oh, okay.
Because we went to Colorado for Thanksgiving to visit some friends, and we decided to move out there like a couple months later.
Okay.
So that was like April. I moved out there April 2012, and we got married in November 2012 in North Carolina. So they always thought I was just that she took me away out there. And
Is
then
there something with invitations or something? Your sister was supposed to send invitations.
Yeah, there was. Okay, now you're bringing some memories back. There's something to do with that, and then my sister wanted, her kids. Oh, my sister wanted her kids as like the ring bearer and like something else. Ring bearer and flower girl, and then Shanann she told her no, or wait, either Shanann told her no or Jamie backed out because of something else, and then it just like all blew up.
And is that pretty close to the wedding?
Yes, yeah, within a couple weeks.
Did they go to the wedding, your family?
My grandma did.
In your phone, or
She always had my phone.
she always checking your phone? So how did you get past that?
I used my work phone.
To text? And you had some secret apps, right?
That was on my personal phone.
Were you using anything else to have contact with her?
No, I just texted her with my work phone. And like when Shanann and the kids went to North Carolina, she used my personal phone, and she just told me like to put pictures in an app, and I just found that calculator. I just put just searched on the app store like hidden pictures, and this calculator app first one popped up.
Like in your iCloud or your whatever isn't linked together, so she would know if you're getting at, downloading apps and stuff like that.
They used to be a long time ago, but when we got different phones, or when our phone contact list would be synced up from the cloud and stuff like that, I couldn't have she had like tons and tons and tons of like phone contacts. I just couldn't have all that, but it's still kind of linked up at one point. But as far as she asked me to get my own iCloud account, just to kind of free that up a little bit.
How about your Facebook account? You deleted that at some point. When did you do that? And why?
I think it was, we got back August 7th. Went to work. I think it was probably August 8th. That's when think he told me she told her friends about me. And I just figured, they probably looked me up on Facebook and see that I was pregnant. If Nikki already knew probably already, but the reason why I did that.
Did you and Nikki ever fight?
We never fought, but like I said, I had to calm her down a bunch of times.
Yeah, you started to mention that when we were talking to you before about her getting upset about some video or something about being bipolar or...
Well,
what are you talking about?
I think either my dad told me about that or John Walsh told me about she made a couple videos when she was just talking to herself, saying that she was bipolar or something like that. But a lot of the things was when she realized that she's the other person in the relationship, that I'd always put my wife first over her, and that's what kind of made her take a step back a few times, and then I had to kind of calm her down.
Tell me about those times. What'd that look like?
So the first one was probably around July 4th when I had to leave her house because she wanted to kind of spend most of the day together before she went to a baseball game or something.
Jim, thank you.
He worked in the oil field, North Dakota, I believe, and I guess he's been a friend of hers for a long time, and it's kind of like a shoulder to cry on. There's always somebody that's always been around for her, and I guess he's had a couple girlfriends, and I guess he's hadn't had much luck, I guess, in that department as far as keeping girlfriends, and just him and Nikki have always been good friends.
Just platonic friends?
That's
as far as you know?
As much as I knew.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think they just been friends for a long time, especially up in oil field, North Dakota, or whatever he's working now. I think either Wyoming, they go all over the place.
When Sandy and Frank lived in the house for 15 months, what was that like?
It was, it was tough.
Financial stresses.
Yeah, the bankruptcy was something I never thought was going to happen. I think that was back in 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. But I never thought that was going to happen. And I never thought, a lot of it was from the wedding because they just put it all on credit cards. And so it was just, and then the doctor bills from endoscopies and just girls seemed like they were sick every month. It seemed like some type of ear infection, which to figure out was just put the tubes in their ears and stuff. There was different operations here, a couple overnight stays in the hospital for breathing and stuff like that. And so it was just, it all mounted up. I mean, I never thought it was that far gone, but
Was any of that from Shannon's neck surgery, or are those bills pretty well paid up?
Well, I think the bankruptcy never touched the medical part of it because you have to be specify the medical part of it, medical bankruptcy, and then there's regular bankruptcy.
Oh,
I don't think bankruptcy ever touches student loans or medical stuff. You have to be specific with that.
Okay.
But I think it just took away a lot of the furniture that we had bought, and then a couple other things inside the house to kind of alleviate a lot of the. We had to make the house payment by phone every month, and I had to listen to the bankruptcy spiel every time, and it's just I didn't know how long it was going to take.